Harshad Mehta. This name was super famous in the Bombay Stock Exchange back in the late 1980s and early 1990s. He was a man who seemed to have an almost mythical presence in the financial world. His rise to fame was meteoric, and he quickly became a household name in India. He was like a legend, a money whiz, someone who seemed to have magic powers in the stock market. People were in awe of his ability to predict market trends and make huge profits. His confidence and charisma were unmatched, making him a figure of fascination and envy. Many people called him the Big Bull, a symbol of big dreams and success in a fast-changing India. He represented the aspirations of a nation that was beginning to embrace economic liberalization and modernization. His story was one of rags to riches, inspiring countless young Indians to dream big. But behind all the fancy stuff and the image of being unbeatable, there was a big secret, a tricky scam that would shock the entire financial world. The facade of success hid a web of deceit and manipulation that would eventually unravel, revealing the dark side of his meteoric rise. This is the story of Harshad Mehta, a man who came from a simple background and became the brains behind India's biggest money scandal. His journey from a modest upbringing to the pinnacle of financial success was as dramatic as it was controversial. Mehta's story is a warning, a reminder that even the smartest people can get caught up in wanting too much money and power. His downfall was a stark reminder of the perils of unchecked ambition and the fragile nature of financial success. It's a story about the dangers of risky gambling in the stock market, the importance of rules, and the lasting hurt caused by financial crimes. The impact of his actions was felt far and wide, causing ripples in the financial sector and affecting countless lives. It's a story that's still important today, more than 30 years later, reminding us that trust can be broken easily and that money problems can happen anytime. The lessons from Harshad Mehta's saga continue to resonate, serving as a cautionary tale for future generations. Harshad Mehta's story began in a small town in Gujarat. Born into a modest family, he grew up with dreams that seemed far too big for his small-town surroundings. He was a regular kid from a regular family, living a simple life. But even as a child, he had a spark, a curiosity about the world beyond his village. He moved to Mumbai, the city where dreams come true, hoping for a better life. The bustling metropolis was a stark contrast to his quiet hometown, but Mehta was determined to make it. He started with a small job, working as a clerk at the Bombay Stock Exchange. But Mehta was ambitious. He saw the stock market as a place where he could turn his dreams into reality. He really wanted to be successful. His ambition was fueled by a relentless drive to rise above his humble beginnings. He spent his days learning everything about how the stock market worked. He read books, studied financial charts, and absorbed every bit of information he could find. He watched, he studied, and he learned from the experts. He observed the trading floor, understanding the nuances of market movements and the psychology of trading. Mehta's smarts and willingness to take chances made him stand out. He wasn't afraid to take risks, and his confidence grew with each successful trade. He started making big, risky investments in companies that other people ignored, and it worked. His calculated risks paid off, and he began to see substantial returns. Mehta's money grew super fast. His portfolio expanded rapidly, and he became known for his uncanny ability to predict market trends. He became a star in the stock market, and lots of investors trusted him with their savings. His reputation soared, and he was celebrated as a financial genius. He became a symbol of the new India, an inspiration for millions of people who had big dreams. Mehta's success story was a beacon of hope for many aspiring entrepreneurs. But under all the success, something bad was happening. Behind the scenes, there were cracks in the foundation of his empire, hinting at the troubles that lay ahead. Mehta's success wasn't just because he was good at the stock market. He had an uncanny ability to see opportunities where others saw obstacles. He found ways to bend the rules of the Indian banking system, exploiting loopholes that most people didn't even know existed. He used these tricks to get ahead, always staying one step ahead of regulators and competitors. One of his most infamous tricks involved something called ready-forward deals, a financial maneuver that was both clever and risky. These deals were essentially short-term loans between banks, but Mehta saw them as a way to generate massive liquidity. Mehta used these deals to inject large sums of money into the stock market, creating an illusion of prosperity and growth. Here's how it worked. Mehta would buy shares in certain companies, making their prices go up, which in turn attracted more investors. Then he'd use these overpriced shares as collateral to secure even more loans from banks using these ready-forward deals, creating a cycle of ever-increasing investments. This made it look like there was a lot of demand and money in the market, further driving up stock prices and attracting even more investors. Other investors, seeing the prices going up, would rush to buy these shares, making the prices go up even more, creating a frenzy of buying activity. Mehta would then sell his shares at the peak, making a huge profit, leaving the banks and other investors to deal with the mess when everything fell apart, causing a market crash. Mehta's plan needed a constant flow of money. He needed more and more to keep his tricks going. He started using fake bank receipts. These receipts made it look like he had tons of money in the bank. He would use these fake receipts to get even more loans. This whole complicated web of lies couldn't go on forever. The amount of money Mehta owed was growing like crazy. He was like someone gambling, betting more and more, thinking he could always win. But in such a risky game, losing everything can happen fast. The Indian stock market in 1992 was like a house of cards built on lies. It was just a matter of time before it all collapsed. And it did. In April 1992, a reporter named Sucheta Dalal revealed Mehta's tricks. The news shocked everyone. People panicked and started selling their shares. Stock prices dropped like a rock. The Sensex, which is like a scorecard for the Indian stock market, had its biggest crash ever. The whole financial system was a mess. Banks were left with worthless investments. The scam showed how weak the Indian financial system really was. The scandal shocked India's entire financial world. The government quickly started investigating. Mehta was arrested and charged with lots of serious financial crimes. He became the poster boy for financial fraud in India. His name, once connected with success, was now linked to scandal. Mehta fought the charges. He said he was innocent, claiming he was just a scapegoat for a corrupt system. He died in 2001 at the age of 47, while still fighting in court for his innocence. The Harshad Mehta scam was a huge turning point for India's financial world. It showed the weaknesses in the banking system and the need for stricter rules. The scandal led to big changes in the stock market. New rules were made to make things more transparent and prevent similar scams. The Harshad Mehta story is a reminder that greed and a lack of responsibility can have terrible consequences. It's a story that's still important today, reminding us about the importance of being honest, being open, and always being careful in the world of money.